Hi Dismembers, and welcome to more Gore movie reviews. I'm Jen. Props to anybody in California right now. It looks like Silent Hill outside, and I dig it because I dug that movie and the games. But I would apologize to anybody that's actually lost their home and their stuff. So mad respect, and I'm sorry for that. But moving on, let's talk about The Void. The Void is my favorite recent horror film. It came out in 2016 and nothing still has gotten me as excited and thrilled as this movie has. There is literally something for everyone. You like cult movies, there's something for you. You like Hellraiser, there's really something for you. You like creature features and practical effects. Blows your fucking mind. It's amazing, and I can't speak highly enough of that movie, and so we're talking about it today because I couldn't wait to review it. Now, the actor that's in it, the main actor, Kenneth Welsh, is a great actor. He's been in so much cool shit. Like, he's so indie weird, and I love it. And I can't speak highly enough of this movie. So movies that, like I was saying, if you are into H.P. Lovecraft, you will love this movie. It really is a kind of mixed bag. You think it starts out one type of movie and you're like, oh, it's going to be like this. And then it makes a turn and you're like, oh shit, it's like this. And then it makes another turn and you're like, wow, what the fuck am I watching anymore? What even is this? But it's a treat. It's a delight. Like the little dips and turns it takes you on is totally worth it. And I'm trying so hard not to spoil things. And that's what the apprehension is that you can tell off of me right now. So what I will say is I have never seen a movie quite like this where the plot kind of, I will say, okay, Cabin in the Woods is an example of those types of horror movies where you think it's one type of movie and then it's they keep flipping the script on it, but not in ways that you see coming. It's not predictable like a lot of horror movies. They have their specific formulas. They're very formulaic. That's the thing about horror films and why they're one of the most top grossing genres in the world. So people go because they kind of know what to expect. It's just the way it is. It's the same with romantic comedies and things like that. There's a formula for it. There's tropes for sure, and I'll talk about that a lot through my channels. This movie has that perfect anti-hero, begrudging hero is the main protagonist. He does not want to be the hero, and he's kind of dragged through it in that way. And it's believable, and he's a good actor. Not Kenneth Welsh. He's another character. I don't want to give too much away, but God, the cast is so good. Aside from Kenneth Welsh, I think there's only 2 actors in that entire movie that I've ever even seen before, and I don't even think I've seen that other actor that I did see in another horror film. This is the first scary movie I've seen her in. It was she does comedies. Who knew, right? So, because there is nothing funny about this movie. The makeup effects are supreme. I was so impressed by the makeup, both in the design and application of it. The movements, they definitely had their own movements to them. Everyone was different. It was like a Christmas tree of fucked up horror. Every different ornament kind of came together to make a fucked up, I guess a Halloween tree would be a little more if you thought about it. But speaking of which, I will show you guys my Halloween tree at a certain point. That's going to be on my list of things to show you guys. And I also, as I get my videos going, I want to mention this shirt I didn't get from a particular site. I actually got it at Rasputin's, which is a cool like secondhand clothing store. It's a Nosferatu shirt, and I dig it, and I thought this would be a good shirt to wear for today. I have some shirts coming in the mail. Shout out to Cavity Colors, sorry, stuttered. And where else did I order from? Sometimes I order from Fright Rags. So these are places that I like to get my horror shirts from. And a couple of them are from Wish. Not sorry. When you're on a budget, man. I mean, careful though ordering horror shirts off of Wish, because they will send you some fucking tissue paper shirts that will rip like that. It's awful, and the printing on it is just fucking so subpar. But it's Wish. You paid like $1.50 for it. Get over it, right? Anyways, tangent avoided. Not completely, but the void. So, the design was great. Set design was pretty cool. It took you, and genius to the directors for this, because not all horror movies that are based almost mainly in one set are able to still keep it exciting, right? It's mostly all filmed in the same location at a hospital, okay? But there are different things in other areas and other things about this hospital that kind of takes you into it a little more. So, I mean, they saved a lot of money, I'm sure, on, they probably rented out a hospital for a couple days and then built like a little closed set, for the other spaces. But, I mean, brilliant that they can keep it fun and exciting and scary without needing several different sets. And I'm sure they saved a ton of money in the long run, which I am very confident, and I will die on the hill that you do not have to spend a lot of money to make a good horror film. Period. You can spend very little, and with a little creativity and elbow grease, you can make it work. And this movie, you can kind of tell they didn't have all the money in the world, but the money they did have, they spent on the makeup, and I appreciate that. Movies that you would like, or movies like it, rather. Again, I think Hellraiser, there's definite Hellraiser vibes. I can't really think of too many other ones. There's a lot of B-rates, and I watched so many B-rate movies. I can't even, it's all kind of jumbled in there, except for the ones that really stood out. So I can't name or remember which B-rate ones that kind of have elements of that. But yeah, it definitely has a little touch of sci-fi in it too, if you like that kind of thing, which I do. The concept of like H.P. Lovecraft and space and things like that you don't quite fully understand, that shit is scary. It's fucking scary. Different dimensions, that's fucking scary. Because what do you even do? How do you fight things from different dimensions that you have zero understanding of? Vampires, steak, fucking werewolves, silver. I mean, fucking interdimensional beings? How? Like, what do you send them to another dimension? How do you correct that or save yourself? How do you even know what the fuck you're fighting? That's the fear right there. What is it? How do I overcome this? There's no fucking set precedence for something like this. So that's why I think sci-fi horror in general, for me, I like a lot. As nature, like I had talked about in the last video, nature, space. There's just shit that's totally beyond what we know or can even imagine. And that shit is scary when you can't imagine it. So, anyways, it is a well-paced movie also. You don't get bored. Oh, The Thing. If you like The Thing, there's something in it for you too. Another kind of sci-fi, I don't know, I'm doing the robot, but it's really good. It gets me excited. I fucking love this movie. Right now it is streaming. The only place I know that it's streaming right now, it used to be on Netflix. That's where I saw it. Came out in 2016, so it's a little older. The only one I know that it's still on right now is Shudder. So check it out if you have Shudder. I dabble with Shudder. I like Shudder, but I feel like I get it and I watch everything and then I'm sitting there for like a month and there's nothing, or I've seen most stuff. I think one of these days I'm going to do a video just off of what Shudder has on their thing, because they have some good movies, and I'll tell you what, they're starting to produce their own movies similar in the vein of IFC Midnight, and some of them are really good. Some of them are meh, but some of them are really good, and I like that they're taking chances and they're funding their own stuff and funding small directors, first-time directors, things like that. So I really respect that about Shudder. And they're doing a good job. They really are. Ultimately, they're doing a pretty good job. When I can afford to, I'll probably get Shudder and keep it permanently and not get it canceled. You know how it is when you're broke. It is what it is. You keep what you can afford. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about before I get into the spoiled rotten portion of this, and I don't think there is, because we're already past 10 minutes, so I don't want to make this too long. Would I watch it again for those that don't want to be spoiled? Absolutely. I have this movie in my collection and I cherish it. It surprised me, and it still surprises me even when I rewatch. It's got total rewatch value to it. You always come out with something new. The dialogue is fucking great. The script in general was good. When you add the practical effects and the good acting, it's just, this movie can't fucking lose. Now, before I lose people for the spoiler part, they are the directors. I think at least one of the directors of this movie is making another movie, and I'm really excited about it. It's coming out soon. It's called PG Psycho Gore Man. And I will actually link the trailer for it. It looks fucking bonkers amazing. It looks like Monster Squad on PCP, and I'm fucking here for it. I love Monster Squad. I love those fucking indie 80s style. Well, Monster Squad was 80s technically, but there are some movies now that are emulating that 80s. The Void is one of them. That 80s style that keeps it like, oh fuck, this, I feel like I'm in the 80s right now. Turbo Kid is another example of one of those movies that kind of stuck to that 80s motif throughout the film. So Psycho Gore Man looks fucking amazing. Watch the trailer. I hope you watch it. I will, and I'll definitely review it once I do. So, spoiled rotten section in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do not watch if you don't want to be spoiled. Okay. I'm going to walk through the plot a little bit of this movie. So, starts out, cult movie, traps some people into a hospital. You think, oh, it's the standard, they're going to sacrifice these people and that's going to be it. Nope. You learn real quick that there are other worldly things happening here. Other entity-ish, but it's not so much possessed, I would say, as it's more of the thing. It's hard to explain, and I don't want to spoil it to the point to where you know the entire plot line. But I will say that the effects get fucking crazier as it goes. The journey that you take, you don't know who the villain is until like midway, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I kind of guessed it could have been this guy, but I wasn't like sure of it already. It wasn't one of those, it's so obvious that it's fucking painful, right? So the effects, they get kind of, the hospital has a history, it's burned, they're moving out of it, so there's only a handful of people in that entire hospital. And they utilize that as part of the storyline of, okay, there's an abandoned section of this hospital, and the cult thing kind of starts to unfold a little bit, and you're like, oh fuck, this guy is kind of tapped into hell, and which in this movie they kind of frame as another dimension, which, why not? I mean, Event Horizon kind of did that, right? To where like hell was kind of a portion out. They went too far into space, and turns out it was like they went into another dimension, and fucking shit came through the other side. Like, so why not, right? So as you kind of go through the crazy, and the main characters kind of pulled into the villain's plot line and everything like that, there's this section that's just fucking cuckoo bananas, fucking nana boo boo, you're gone, where these creatures that are kind of like creations of this villain who's creates these things. And again, I don't want to give everything away, but they're fucking amazing, and they pop out of the woodwork, and they're popping out of shit, and it's like, it's so high octane that your heart is just gonna do that whole fucking scene. I guarantee it. You're gonna just plots. I don't know a better word for that, but you're just, it's intense. So again, I don't want to give too much away. Just watch it. It's so fucking great. You're gonna enjoy it. And if you don't like The Void, I don't like you. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, everybody's got their thing, but that's one of those movies. You know those movies that you hold so dear that when people don't like it, you get like offended? That's me with this movie. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. I know I didn't get too crazy in this World Rotten. Just, there's Hellraiser, The Thing elements. It starts out just basic cult, but it's a total other fucking thing, ties in Destiny and End of the World type shit and Lovecraftian fucking coolness. And the ending was vague, but that's okay. It wasn't bad. I actually, it left things a little bit open, but not enough to where you're just like, oh dude, total sequel. Like, I don't think honestly they're ever gonna do sequel, and you don't have to. You do not have to do a sequel to every fucking movie. I've already covered that in another video. Not all movies merit sequels, right? Prequels, I enjoy better than sequels. Because prequels, you can rewrite rules, you can do all kinds of shit that you can't really do with sequels. So, I wouldn't suggest a prequel to this one either, though. So, The Void, on Shudder. Check it out. I'm going to leave a link down for PG Gore Man. Watch that when it comes out, because it looks fucking great, and I will review that. And I want you guys to have a great almost weekend. It's Thursday. No, it's Wednesday. Fuck, where am I? Middle of the week. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, into the weekend. Thanks. Bye.